The poor, unfortunate Wii U. Cursed by terrible marketing, lack of third-party support, and a name that confused the average consumer. Seriously, I have a friend who still thinks the Wii U is an add-on to the Wii, despite how many times I've told him otherwise. The Wii U had a great collection of exclusive titles. I didn't get to play all of them, but I did play a lot of good ones. Most of them have deluxe versions on Switch now, but as a Wii U owner, I never bothered to get any of those, especially not at $60 when they were around $20 on Wii U. So, as one of the 12 people who still own a Wii U and still use it today, here are my top 10 Wii U games. At number 10 is New Super Mario Bros. U. People were starting to get tired of the new Mario series, as it was ironically getting old at this point. Most people will say this game is uninspired and feels just like the Wii game, but again, now as someone who's never played the Wii or 3DS games, this still felt pretty fresh to me. I did have the first New Super Mario Bros. Game on DS, and it was great. Skipping over to the Wii U game gives me no negative bias against it being too similar to the previous games. I can appreciate it for what it really is, a good 2D Mario. It's also the first to be in HD, and it looks pretty good. Sure, it's no Mario Wonder, but I'd still say it holds up. It really is a solid entry in the series that unfortunately gets overlooked for how similar it is to other games. Sometimes more of the same is a good thing though. I'd say this is a good example of that. Oh, I also got the bundle version of this with New Super Luigi U, and that was good too. For my number 9 pick, I'm putting Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. Now, I played this game when it was already re-released on Switch, but again, I didn't want to pay $60 for a game that was $20 for a while. I was lucky to find a copy of this on Wii U for around that price at GameStop. I played through it and it was really good. I feel like there's not much I can say about this game that hasn't already been said. Many will say it's one of the best 2D platformers out there, and yeah, it's great. It's fun, challenging, has some great level designs, music, and visuals. It's just a good time all around. Just a really good and fun game. Now for my number 8 pick, we have Mario Kart 8. I kinda regret that I never got the deluxe version on Switch, as I thought we'd get Mario Kart 9 not long after that released. I guess we kinda did get a 9th Mario Kart, right? Even a 10th, kind of. We also have 8 deluxe DLC with more tracks and characters that I'm never going to play as. But hey, the original Mario Kart 8 is still fantastic. Back when it was just a Wii U game, it was probably the definitive Mario Kart, with some great maps, the new anti-gravity mechanic, a ton of characters to play, and it's still one of Nintendo's best looking games visually. Once again, the Switch version is definitely more so the definitive Mario Kart now, but 8 back in the Wii U era was still a fantastic game. At number 7, we have Super Smash Bros. For Wii U. This was the game that started my journey here on YouTube. It hasn't exactly been a successful journey, but hey, I'm happy to be here, and I'm having fun. I don't know how much this game contributed, but like I said, it really was my starting point. Now, I know the hardcore competitive Smash community wasn't big into this game as it was very slow, so it didn't feel as good as Melee, and now Ultimate, but I think it was a better game for getting new people into competitive Smash. It even introduced me to my favorite video game series in Xenoblade by having Shulk, and got me into Fire Emblem as well. I spent a lot of time playing Smash 4, and I feel like it did a lot for me. Not just starting out on YouTube and getting me to play some of my favorite games of all time, but back in high school when I played this game non-stop, I made a lot of friends through this game. So, thank you, Smash 4. Also, I'm like one of the 2 people who actually really like Smash Tour. It's fun, trust me, give it a try again with some friends. In the number 6 slot is Xenoblade Chronicles X. I already mentioned how Smash 4 got me into Xenoblade. When I heard it was getting a new game, I was really excited. Now, I have to admit that X didn't quite live up to my expectations for a new Xenoblade, mainly with the story. The gameplay was still pretty good though. Granted, I was definitely doing some things wrong. A lot of things, really. I actually didn't even realize I could change my character class until post-game, so I played as the default rookie class the whole game. Not only that, I didn't know how to upgrade the stores, so I used the default skills until post-game too, which made the final boss nearly impossible for me to beat. I think it took me like 20 or 30 tries, not even kidding. I remember cheesing a lot of bosses in caves by having my party members enter their skills, which caused them to get aggro, while my character just chipped away at the enemy outside of his skill, still in the cave.
I'm doing Bose's third affinity mission, Bose's Ignorance, and you know, This has got to be the stupidest boss ever. I can't lower the difficulty anymore. That's not an option. So, what I thought is like, wait a minute, I can tell them all to board their skells. And they can do that from anywhere. Meanwhile, I can't. So, I had them do that, as you can see, and, well, this is the result of that. So apparently, now I just have to sit here and, wait for myself to slowly chip it down to death. That's it. Because it's aiming at someone else, and I don't want it to get aggro at me, so I'm just gonna hit it with the normal attacks. Like, this is what I have to do. This is my only option, guys.
I would love this game to come to either the Switch or whatever the next Nintendo system is, so I can give it another chance. I still really enjoyed this game. It's fun and has a lot of content. Overall, a worthwhile experience. For my number 5 pick, I put The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess HD. I wasn't originally going to include the Zelda HD remake since they're not really Wii U games, they don't really change much from their original GameCube versions, but I was really unable to make a genuine top 10 list without them. Twilight Princess is an amazing Zelda game. Its combat is fun, the exploration's great, and the dungeons are cool. I also remember the game having some really cool boss fights. You also get to travel with Midna, who's Link's best travel companion, hands down. Now I, like most people, wasn't a big fan of the Wolf Link sections, collecting those light bug thingies. I don't know what they're called. It was kinda, not really the best thing ever. I do like some of the combat elements of Wolf Link though. Jumping on enemies and biting them is kinda satisfying. Oh, and the HD version did add the trial mode with the amiibo, which was a pretty tough but also fun challenge. With that being said, Twilight Princess is a great 3D Zelda. At number 4 in this list, we have Pikmin 3. This was the first Pikmin game I played. I got it when the Switch had already been out a couple years at a GameStop for about 15 bucks. Pretty nice. And yes, I got it with Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. It was a buy two, get one. I also got Yoshi's Woolly World, but there's actually a story with that I may tell in another video. I also played Pikmin 1 and 2 on the Switch recently, which was also good. It's interesting to see the different objectives of each game. In 3 you have to collect food, which you actually need in order to continue to the next day. I actually like this way more than the 30-day limit in the first game. I just felt more stressed out by a set-in-stone time limit as opposed to a time limit that can be increased. Pikmin 3 is a great puzzle game and honestly has some pretty cool boss fights too. I'd say it's a very good time. My number 3 pick is Hyrule Warriors. This game is just mindless fun. You play as characters from throughout the Zelda series and beat up hordes of enemies from throughout the Zelda series. I remember playing this so much back in the day. It was always fun to jump in and try to do all the challenges while destroying enemies and taking out outposts. Oh, and I thought I should mention, this was actually the first Zelda game I beat. As in, the story mode, of course. I had never finished a Zelda game before this. It was because of this game I decided to finally play all the way through more Zelda games. Now Zelda is absolutely a top 5 video game series for me. So thank you Hyrule Warriors for all the fun times and really sparking up my love of Zelda. I really need to get the definitive edition one day. Coming in at number 2 is Super Mario 3D World. This game is just a good, fun Mario game. It's a 3D Mario in the style of 2D Mario. You go to each stage and get to the end, like a 2D Mario, but in a 3D environment. It's got great levels to play. It's fun to play co-op with friends, and it introduced one of the best Mario power-ups in the cat suit. You can climb walls, attack, and you have that dive move. It's just a good power-up. I feel like I don't have a lot to say since honestly, this game is just a lot of fun. It's as simple as that. The game is good and fun. What else can I say? I've been saying that about a handful of these games actually. Sometimes it just be like that, you know? You just like a game because it's fun. Why do I have to go into detail? Like, it's just fun. Let me have fun. Okay, this feels kinda wrong. I'm putting a GameCube game as my number 1 pick on my top 10 Wii U games. But come on, The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker HD is not only my favorite Wii U game, but also my favorite Zelda game. It has one of, if not the best art styles in any Zelda game. Sure, people hated it when it first came out, because people wanted a realistic looking Zelda back in the day, but people were dumb back in the day. And they're still dumb today, because there are still people who want hyper-realistic graphics instead of, you know, actually good gameplay.
We haven't touched the controller for 45 minutes.
But this game has aged very well, even on the GameCube. Now in the HD version, it looks even better. The lighting, the colors, it's also vibrant and pretty. It has one of the most fun combat systems in Zelda. Everything just feels very satisfying to hit, especially with the game's incredible sound design making every hit sound good. I also really like how you have to use the slide attack on the Darknuts to remove their armor. The HD version added the Swift Sail, making traversing the sea faster, which in the original was kinda slow. The dungeons are really cool. I found the bosses to be kinda hit or miss. It has some pretty fun bosses, except that one plant where you hit the weak point, then it eats you and spits you out, so you basically guarantee taking damage. This game also has my favorite Ganon fight. First of all, him turning into a wooden puppet pig monster is probably the most unique take on Ganon. And the final fight with Ganondorf is just so good. Just the way it looks, like it's just on such a cool looking arena, and the fact that you team up with Zelda to shoot him and stab him, and it's just cool. And also the way he finishes Ganondorf with his stab in the head, that was cool. The Twilight Princess one was cool too, but I don't know, I like the Wind Waker one better. This game is just so good, it's fun, it looks good, and it's full of so much charm. I just had to cheat and put a GameCube game as my favorite Wii U game. So, that'll do it for this list. Sadly, the Wii U's online service and eShops are dead, so not only can you not buy these games from Nintendo, you can't update used copies you get. Most of these games have a definitive edition on Switch, so you can at least still get them today. But there are some, like my #1 pick, that still haven't been brought over. Maybe Nintendo will finally give them another chance to shine again on their next console? Please, Nintendo? Please? Well, I guess that's something only time will tell eventually. But for now, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, share your thoughts in the comments below, and make sure to subscribe for more. Until next time, this is the first one, signing out. Bye bye!